Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, let's be real for a second. New Year's resolutions, they're kind of doomed to fail from the start, right? So today, we're going to forget all about them. Instead, we're building a totally new operating system for your life, a framework that's actually designed to work in the real world.
Let's kick things off with a number that, well, it probably explains a lot. 93%. That sounds incredibly high, doesn't it? But there's a very, very good chance that you've been a part of this statistic.
Because as this quote from Ayush Poddar points out, that's how many yearly plans are just gone by the second quarter. So if your big plans keep falling apart, listen up. It is not a lack of willpower. The problem is the entire system, the architecture. And that is exactly what we are here to fix.
Okay, so step one in building that new system is figuring out exactly where you are right now. This means we have to do a brutally honest self-audit. No sugarcoating allowed.
You know, author Mel Robbins has this perfect analogy for it. Think about your phone's GPS. It literally cannot give you directions to a new place if it doesn't know your current location. Well, the exact same thing is true for your life. We need to drop that starting pin on the map.
So, let's find that starting point. We're going to begin with two super simple but really revealing questions. First, what is genuinely working for you? What gives you energy? What gets you positive results? And then, the flip side, what is draining you? What's just not working, no matter how hard you try? Remember, this isn't about judging yourself. It's just about sorting things into two piles, what's serving you and what isn't.
Next up, we got to reflect on the lessons. Like Mel Robbins says, your challenges, they're trying to teach you something. So what did this past year show you about your patterns, your strengths, and maybe where you consistently get stuck? Because any patterns you don't see are the ones you're definitely going to repeat.
Look, the whole point of this audit is just awareness. That's it. You're not beating yourself up. You're just gathering the raw data you need to build a plan that's actually based in reality, not just wishful thinking.
And to make this really concrete, you can use a tool just like this one from Mel Robbins' workbook. Just go through these key areas of your life, give each one an honest score from 1 to 10, and, now this is the really crucial part, write down why. Why did you pick that number? That right there, that's your baseline.
Okay, you've got your starting point mapped out. Now, we are ready for the most powerful part of this entire operating system. This is a massive strategic shift away from how we usually set goals, and it's all about choosing your one game.
This slide just lays out the whole difference in thinking. On the left, that's the average planner. They ask, what do I want? And they end up with 10 different priorities, spreading themselves way too thin. But on the right, that's elite thinking. They ask a totally different question. What is the single biggest bottleneck that if I solve it, makes everything else easier? See? They don't set goals, they design a constraint.
The whole idea is called constraint identification. It's about finding that one single domino that will knock over all the others. And the example here is perfect. If your product is great, but nobody ever sees it, who cares what font is on the website? That's irrelevant. Distribution is the only thing that matters. That's your constraint.
So you have to choose your one game. For this next year, are you going to play the profitability game, the audience building game, the physical health game, maybe the deep relationships game? The thing is, you can't win them all at once. And choosing one isn't about limiting yourself, it's about focusing all your power.
So you've done the audit, and you've chosen your one game. Now we build the engine that actually drives results. And this part is all about execution, where the secret is to focus only on what you can control, your inputs.
Oh man, this is such a critical shift in how we think. We are obsessed with outcomes, hitting that revenue number, seeing that weight on the scale. But you can't directly control those things, can you? What you can control are the inputs, the number of emails you send, the articles you publish, the times you actually go to the gym. You have to stop managing your hopes and start managing your actions.
So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, it could be a time input audit, just like this one. Are your inputs, the actual hours on your calendar, are they aligned with the game you chose to play? Or is your week just packed with meetings and tasks that have absolutely nothing to do with solving your main problem?
This focus on controllable inputs is a universal principle. It's all about finding the specific, repeatable actions that actually drive progress, and then building a system to make sure they happen, whether we're talking about your time or your money.
And yeah, this applies perfectly to your finances too. A financial checklist like this, it's not a vague goal like become a millionaire. No, it is a system of scheduled, controllable inputs.
You don't just hope for financial security, you actually execute the actions that create it.
Okay, so we have our audit, our strategy, and our execution engine. But you know what? The most sophisticated plan in the entire world is completely useless if you don't do one thing. Start.
I love this point from Mel Robbins. It's so simple but so important. A goal requires you to do something. It is not going to happen on its own. And let's be honest, the biggest hurdle for all of us is just getting over the inertia of starting.
So let's end with the most powerful question of all. Forget the whole year. Forget the big strategy and all the outcomes for just a second. What is one tiny, ridiculously small action you can take in the next 5 minutes to get this thing started? Send one email, do one push-up, draft one single sentence, whatever it is, do it right now.
Because that's the entire operating system. That's the whole secret. Find out where you're really starting from. Choose the one game that actually matters. Focus on the inputs you can control, and then take that first tiny step immediately. That is how you build a year that actually works.